Hey y'all, today's video is a first impressions video of a new foundation that I picked up. I really enjoy doing first impression videos on foundations just because, I don't know, they're fun and I like to take you all on my journey of trying out a foundation for the first time. So I just haven't done one of these in a while because I really haven't been picking up any foundations lately. I've been trying to use up what I have. So, but today's video, I will be focusing on a foundation I picked up in my most recent haul video, and that is the Lancome Nude Miracle Foundation. So I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale, and this is actually a Sephora exclusive foundation. So keep that in mind if this is something you want to try. You can only get it at Sephora right now. So I decided to try this foundation, number one, because they have Lupita as the spokesperson for it. So when I saw the ad for it, I really wanted to try it because she has such a beautiful skin tone, but to be honest, a lot of brands don't cater to a skin tone like hers. And so when I saw her on the ad, I was just really proud. So that's the initial thing that made me want to try this foundation. Other reason for wanting to try this foundation is that I've never tried a Lancome foundation, and I like the idea of the liquid to powder foundations. So I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about the foundation. I picked it up in the shade 450N, which is called Suede. This is one of the darker shades in the range. I think this is probably the fourth from the last shade, if I remember correctly. So they still have more shades for lighter skins, but at least they do have some darker tones thrown in there. Yeah, so it's SPF 15, and it's a liquid to powder makeup with a weightless feel and a bare matte finish. So it's basically promising a skin-like finish that feels like nothing. Also on the box, it claims that 100% of the women that tried out this foundation forgot they were wearing it. So that's a pretty good claim. We'll see what I think about it. You'll have to wait and see what I think about it when you watch the video. But yeah, so that's what this foundation promises to give: a light, airy finish that feels like nothing on your skin. So that sounds like a type of foundation that I like. Something that's no fuss, lightweight coverage, but still makes me feel like I look alive. So I will be trying this out throughout the day. So if you're interested in seeing what I think about it, then just keep watching. Coming up next will be a demo of me applying. So there's nothing on my face right now except moisturizer, which I applied a while ago, so that's already had a chance to sink in. I am going to apply a primer because I wear a primer every day. The one I'm going to be using is the Tarte Clean Slate Flawless 12-Hour Primer. And I find that this primer doesn't necessarily make my makeup last longer. It just smooths my skin out a little bit, so. And that's mainly what I wear primer for. So for the foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and shake it up. It's one of those really liquidy foundations, so whenever I use a foundation like this, I'm sure to shake it up really well. And it comes with a dropper, if you haven't seen this already, like that. So hopefully I can do this without making a mess, but I'm gonna attempt to drop a little bit on my hand and then use a brush to apply it. The brush I'm gonna be using is the Sedona Lace FB07. All right, so I started out with about 3 drops on my hand, and hopefully the brush doesn't soak up too much of the foundation. I found that with some of these liquidy foundations, they don't do so great with the brush because sometimes the brush just soaks it all up. So I don't really have a way to set up my camera on my vanity because I don't have lights, and so to use natural light I kind of have to turn around. So unfortunately I'm using this little mirror. So hopefully my foundation doesn't look too bad. All right, so just looking in the mirror, I can definitely tell the difference between the two sides of my face, but it's not much of a difference. This side just looks a little bit smoother, but it still looks like my natural skin. I think I probably need a little bit more foundation because I feel like it really wasn't going very far, to be honest. I used up everything that was on my hand, so that was 3 drops just on the one side of my face. So I don't know if you're supposed to use like a whole dropper full for your whole face or what, I don't know, but yeah, color looks good though. It just really looks like my skin, just slightly better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side of my face, and then I'm probably gonna go back and add another layer. I will say it feels rather smooth going on. Like it goes on really liquidy, but not like greasy. And then it's definitely drying down to like a powder finish. Like the side that I apply first feels like I have nothing on right now. That's a good thing. Okay, so this side of my face looks better, and this is the side I was pretty liberal on the amount of drops. I think it was 3 drops still, but it was kind of bigger drops. It wasn't me controlling the dropper. I just kind of let it drop out as it wanted to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some more on this side of my face to kind of build up the coverage on my cheeks, because that's usually where I need coverage. And I'm really just applying it like I would apply any other foundation. I kind of, usually if I'm doing my face, like normally I would just pat it all over my face and then rub in. Since I did the first side and then the second side, I kind of just did the same thing, but only on one half of my face. All right, so that's what it looks like. Again, it kind of just looks like skin. It definitely doesn't look like I have on foundation. If you didn't know me, I can tell I have on foundation because I can tell my skin looks more smooth. I don't see any dry patches on my face. And yeah, color looks pretty good. I will say that with matte foundation, sometimes they can tend to make me look a little bit ashy. And I'm starting to see, like, I don't know, just right in this area of my face, it's not dry, but it looks like if I kept putting more foundation on, like it might get dry. So I'm gonna stop at, you know, what I put on, which is probably about a total of 6 liberal drops. And yeah, I'm gonna stop right there and go ahead and go put the rest of my makeup on. I will be back in a few so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm back and I put on the rest of my makeup. As I was putting on the rest of my makeup, I really had a chance to take a look at what my face looked like, and I definitely think this foundation did accentuate some dry areas right here on my forehead. I could kind of see a lot of, or some flakiness there, not a lot. I don't think anybody else would notice it, but because I'm so close up to my face, I notice it. But other than that, I didn't really see any. This area I was talking about during the demo where it kind of looked dry, I don't really see that anymore, probably because the foundation's kind of settled into my skin. But at the same time, with it accentuating the dryness here, I definitely don't think I could have put on more layers of the foundation, or it would have been worse, or maybe accentuated more dryness on my cheeks. So that's that so far. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. So if I end up liking this foundation enough to keep it, then I'll probably use a different type of primer, maybe a more moisturizing primer, or maybe I'll use my moisturizer immediately before I put on this makeup and skip a primer altogether. So I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so this is what my face looks like. I think it looks pretty good, looks really natural, looks like my own skin. I would definitely say this is light coverage. You probably could build it up, but if you have a skin type like mine, which is like combination with dry areas, then that might not be such a hot idea, just because I think it will just continue to bring out the dryness the more I put on and buff in. Actually, I'm probably gonna end up trying this with a beauty blender, because that might work better with this type of foundation. I don't know, we'll see. Overall though, I do really like the way it looks. Just looks really natural. It feels like I'm wearing nothing, like literally it feels like I'm just wearing clean skin, and that's really nice. So great lightweight foundation. Like I said, I do think it's light coverage because it didn't cover up this blemish that I have right here that I can kind of use as a judgment to see how well something covers. So yeah, I definitely think it's light coverage, but I'm okay with that. So for the rest of my makeup, I didn't set this because I didn't feel like I needed to. Like, I didn't set it with a powder. However, I did use some powder products on my face. So I just put concealer underneath my eyes, powdered under there only. And then I put on some bronzer and blush, powder blush, and a powder highlight. So there is some powder on my face. That powder all went on fine. It didn't, when I was putting it on, it didn't make my skin look drier, which sometimes can happen. That has happened to me before if I use a too matte foundation, that when I put the powder blush on top of it or powder bronzer on top of it, it just starts looking ashy. So that didn't happen, so that's a good thing. So right now it's 2:38, so I will be back a little bit later to kind of let you guys see how the foundation is holding up and what I think about it after a couple hours of wear. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm back and the time is now 9:02. I planned on coming back much earlier, but I actually went out and did some stuff and I got back home a lot later than I expected. So I am happy to say that it's been probably about 6 hours, and 6.5 hours since I last came on. And my makeup still looks the same. I mean, right now I have light shining on me, so it might look a little bit shiny because that's what the lights do. But in person, it looks pretty much exactly the same. The little spot on my head that I said was kind of accentuated the dryness, I can still see it if I look really close, but it doesn't look ashy or anything. I can tell, but looking at myself like in a regular mirror, I can't see it. So that's definitely a good thing. It still feels the same too. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my face. Like this is the most lightweight foundation I've ever tried, seriously. It feels like I just woke up and washed my face. Like, that's what it feels like. It doesn't even feel like I have moisturizer on. It just feels like, you know, like normal, soft, supple skin. When I say it doesn't feel like I have moisturizer on, I'm not trying to say it feels dry. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like moist to the touch. So I really like that. So I will be back probably in a couple hours before I go to bed and just kind of give you my final thoughts for the day on this foundation. See you soon. Hey guys, I am back and the time is now 11:41. So I've had this foundation on about 10 hours and I am getting ready to go to bed, but I really just wanted to come on really quick and let you guys see what it looks like. So to me, it pretty much looks the same. It doesn't look matte per se, it just looks really natural. Again, I have light shining on me, so it may be coming off a little bit shinier on camera than it is in person, but in person, it looks perfectly like unshiny. So with that being said, I really like this foundation. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't like it because I thought it would just make my skin look too dry and dead, but I actually really do like it. It gives me a really nice natural matte finish. So it doesn't like make me look more matte. It's kind of just, it makes me look like I'm wearing nothing and I just have really, really nice skin. So that is definitely a plus. So yeah, so far first impressions, this is a winner, the Nude Miracle by Lancome. I think for the future, when I wear this, I'll be sure to maybe use a moisturizing primer or to moisturize closer to the time I'm going to put the foundation on, just to make sure I don't get any dry patch issues. But yeah, so for first impressions, I think this is a winner. It's probably good for people with skin types like me, or people with skin types that are slightly dry or slightly oily. If you're really oily or really dry, I'm not sure this would work for you, because for me it kind of pretty much just made me give that satiny type finish. But if you're really dry, it might really accentuate the dryness too much. And if you're really oily, I'm not sure this would do anything to stop you from being oily. So that being said, this is just speculation. Hey y'all, so it's actually 2 days later and I decided to come back and kind of give you another update, just because on my last update I fell asleep and then I came on and I just really wasn't happy with the way I ended things. So I tried the foundation out for a couple more days, and so today I want to come back with an update for you. So basically right now it is 8:51 p.m. and today was a super long day for me. I worked 12 hours today, so I put on my makeup probably around 7 a.m. Yeah, around 7 a.m. And as you can see, face still looks good. So That is an absolute winner in my book. Now today I was really busy at work, and so I do a lot of moving around. So it wasn't just a day where I was just sitting there all day. I was actually doing stuff. And my foundation still held up. Still got on blush, bronzer. I have not touched up. The only thing I did do was blot, and that was about an hour 10. So even when I blotted, it wasn't like ridiculously oily. I was just oily in my T-zone, which is where I tend to get oily. But what I can say that after using this over the past couple days, the issue that I had with the dryness on the first day, I have not gotten anymore. So maybe I just didn't moisturize my face that well on the first day, I don't know, but I haven't gotten it again. Also, I have noticed that, like I said, I do get a little bit shiny in my T-zone area. So if you are really oily, this may not be the best foundation for you, but you still may want to try it just because it's literally after a long day, and I do not set my foundation, so I really don't feel like you need to set this foundation. But if you're super oily, you probably could still get away with using this foundation if you set it, or if you don't mind blotting throughout the day. Also, I've tried a couple different ways to apply this, and today I feel like I got the best coverage, and that was just by using my fingertips, which is not the not my favorite way of applying foundation, just because it can get a little bit messy. But I did get the best coverage, and I feel like the foundation went the longest way by using my fingertips. Like, I felt like I could actually probably build up to medium coverage by using my fingertips. The results that I got today are pretty consistent with the results I got yesterday as well. So I'm pretty sold on this foundation. It's long lasting. It's very natural looking. It feels like nothing on. I have not broken out so far from it. And I definitely think it's a winner. Like, I love this foundation. So that is it for this video, finally. And if you have any questions about the foundation or about how I applied or anything like that, you can always leave in the comments below. If you tried this foundation, please share it down in the comments below. Because if your skin type is different than mine, I'm sure people would be interested in seeing what you have to say about it as well. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.